200 years ago, this oak barn was hand-built to last a lifetime. But in recent decades, it's been left to rot. A few years ago, a group of builders tried to save it. Instead, they vanished, leaving this poor barn to once again fade away into another piece of forgotten English heritage. Decades of neglect have taken their toll. Everywhere you look tells a story of time passing it by. Black and blue plastic hiding the sorry state of the barn below, rotten beams ready to give way, wiring that could burn the place down. Most people would walk away. We are not most people. For the past 5 months, we have been tearing it apart, rebuilding it from the ground up, and bringing this piece of history back to life. Welcome to the Derelict Barn Project. Before we can even think about touching the barn, we have to deal with the most urgent problem, the septic tank. It's full and almost overflowing. One of the jobs you'd hope to avoid, but you can't ignore. We get it emptied and safe, clearing the way for everything else to begin. With that handled, we start finding out what we've really inherited. The drainage is a mess, sewage runs don't make sense, and right here, where this can speak for itself. Is that the Watermain? My God, I've seen it all now. I've just found this alkaline pipe, which was dripping. Seems to me that this is the Watermain coming in, and it's actually live. I've never seen anything like that before. I think that needs some attention. And then we have the electrics. The mains fuse board has been left completely exposed to the elements, protected by nothing more than a sheet of plastic and a bit of rotten old chipboard. This isn't poor workmanship, it's just dangerous. Anyways, our electrician Jason does his best with what he has inherited, makes the site safe and gets our septic tank back up and running. Sorted. With the danger out the way, we map everything, where the services are, what needs rerouting, what can be saved, and what has to go. This is the groundwork for the whole project. Get this wrong, and everything that follows will suffer. Get it right, and the barn gets a real second chance. Today isn't glamorous, it's a lot of head scratching, pouring water down drains, and making sense of the chaos. Meaning tomorrow we get to actually start making some progress. But before any serious demo, the entire barn needs a scaffold with a tin hat. This means we can work in all conditions, come rain or shine. The building is covered in a black and blue plastic sheeting. We can only assume it was a feeble attempt to keep the weather out by the previous builders. We start to strip it away, and after a few minutes, the truth beneath revealed itself. So this is how bad the weather's got to all of this oak. They're literally, look at that. That's a structural rafter. They are all knackered. This here is the ring beam which the roof is pitched onto. This is structural. Look, absolutely. So yeah, we're gonna have to go back to the drawing board on this one and see, what we can do. With the unfortunate reality of our rotten oak setting in, we plough onwards, moving on to the other, more promising side of the barn, and start making some serious good progress. After some phone calls and a few very helpful friends, we had a birdcage installed the very next morning, which allowed us to finally finish stripping the rest of this beautiful barn's ugly exterior. making sure we de-nail every rafter and beam as we go. Nearly half of the roof structure is too far gone. The oak is completely rotten and the gable end is leaning like the Tower of Pisa. We wanted to save as much of this original oak work as possible, but after speaking to the structural engineer, he just wasn't happy. So piece by piece, we dismantled the worst of it. I can hear all your comments already. I know it's upsetting. We are demolishing so much history, but this needs to be done to keep this barn alive. Now that the roof's gone, this place feels totally different, lighter, ready for what is to come next. Demolition done, time to rebuild. This is the stage where we really start to pour our heart and soul into this build. With everyone on the team eager to get going, we start by reinstating the oak work we just removed, slotting new pieces into place with the same techniques the old school chippies would have used. Classic mortise and tenons. Next, the mezzanine floor joists go back in, followed quickly by the downstairs stubwork that marks out all of the rooms below. Then the real transformation begins, the brand new roof. But first, we take the time to straighten the existing rafters so that the new roof runs through perfectly true. Well, as true as possible with a 200-year-old barn. Whilst the lads finished infilling the rafters, I cracked on with building a brand new gable end. On the top floor, studwork starting to take shape, studding out future rooms and making space for the new Velux window to the family bathroom. Just when we think we're on the home stretch, we find more surprises the previous builders have left for us. Whoa, 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 whoa. Look, that's not fixed. Look, that's not fixed, Aaron. The cat slide roof hasn't been fixed properly and the gable wobbles under pressure. This is what I mean, you start opening things up, nothing's fixed. We strip it back and rebuild it from scratch making sure it's as strong as the rest of the build. With that sorted, we finish all of the stud work, making sure it's actually fixed. And then it's done. Not the whole barn, but every part of the frame, roof, gable and stud work now stands ready for the next chapter. It's time for some serious oak work. We're installing 2 brand new gallery openings. First we install a new header plate, then prepare the original oak work to take our new large oak posts.
Countdown. 3, 2, 1.
She sprung a little bit, but too bad, is it?
No, it's not even heavy. No, it won't be heavy because it's dry as fuck.
Not heavy, yeah. Everything we're adding to this barn is installed with original techniques and designed to last.
Steady, I'd pay £5 for that.
Don't forget guys, if you hit this little bell button just here, you will never miss another one of our pucker episodes. These posts aren't just structural, they're a statement. With the structural work done, we prepare for another dramatic transformation, one that I've been seriously looking forward to, sandblasting this entire barn. Over decades, the oak has been hidden under layers of dust, grime and weathering. As Dave completes the sandblasting, all of that melts away, revealing the characters beneath. Each pass of the sandblasting machine brings the barn closer to how it would have looked when first built. Bright, raw, proud and full of life. This is a massive milestone. With the oak restored and the frame complete, our next mission is clear. Get this barn watertight. The barn is getting a warm roof construction, meaning all of the plasterboarding, insulation and the roof build-up happens from the outside. First job, plasterboarding the roof and the walls, keeping the beautiful oak frame fully exposed for everybody to see. Then we add the oak sprockets and the kickers to the rafter feet. These small details make a huge difference, keeping the roofline perfectly parallel and all the gutters running true for years to come.
Where the roof obviously differs, all rafters dip in and out. We're doing each individual kicker to come back up to this line. Then we can carry on with our lay board on top of that, which is seen from underneath, and then we can get cracking with the insulation.
Our insulation arrives and the real sealing up begins.
Well, that was a traffic jam and a half.
Harnesses on, we work across the roof, fitting each section tightly into place.
So with the old reach around.
Oh, steady. Locked in, locked on. We're ready. The things we do. Oh, now we're laughing. Right, down we go. What? Right, so we've just finished the back of the Celotex in. Me, John and Luke have now jumped around the front to finish off the mounty slope. So we're going to start by putting our sprockets right through, vapour barriers on, and then we're going to suss out how we're going to get this Celotex on. Roof is now Celotexed and counterbattened, and boy am I glad that is done. Out of the harness, back onto solid ground.
Next, we are installing our 8x1 oak layboard, so that when you are looking up from the ground, you see finished oak as opposed to felt and battens. It's small details like this that really make a difference. Inside, we install the false floor to the new gallery, providing a void for all of our plumbing and electrical services. With every board, every sprocket and every insulated panel in place, the barn edges closer to being fully protected from the weather. Next, we turn our attention to the electrics. As always, nothing with this barn is straightforward. Originally, this barn was powered by an overhead electricity main running in from a nearby pylon. That wasn't the look we wanted for a project like this, so we opted for a completely new UKPN kiosk with an underground incoming main. So we begun with the groundworks, digging trenches for ducting and layer tapes to ensure safe digging in the future. Then came the concrete pad, the perfect base for our new kiosk.
Right, go on then. Oh.
There's a stud.
Once in place, our electrician could get to work wiring everything up, ready for UKPN to reroute the main and install their half of the kiosk.
Oh, Bill, he's go steady, mate. Don't want no heart attacks on site.
Jason can now run his different rings around the barn and get this place first fix. With the vertical battens installed on the roof, creating a void where our electrician can run cables without a single one being on show indoors. The client kindly asked for three-way switching from all different positions, which let me tell you, wasn't an easy task at all, considering he had to go up the walls, over the roof and back down the other side of the barn to complete all of his rings for the sockets and the lighting.
What? Oh, yeah, what do you want?
Jason has now completed all of the first fix electrics to the barn. He's got all of his light switches throughout the ground floor and upstairs, all the sockets and that are in, all the downlighters, and all of the feature lighting which is on the oak beams above us. It has all been run back. If I take you to where everything's going, we've got this box here which is going to house the fuse board, which is going to be in the back of this tower unit. We're going to have a removable back to it just so that it's all easy accessible and everyone knows where it is.
With the electrician first fixed and out of the way, it's safe for the plumber to get cracking with his first fix. As we all know, they tend to bicker when on site together. Before we dive into the plumbing, we have one more job to rectify left by the previous builders, the Watermain. It's a live feed with no stop clock. We could not find any on site. There's no way to just shut it off. This means we have to cut this pipe live.
Before we fill up with too much water, mate, that is freezing. Right, hold on a minute. Still ain't out the woods yet. Get on there. I am soaked. Alright, push. What a joke. Such a short bit of pipe to connect onto. That's better. Nip that one up for luck. Jobbed. Beautiful.
Inside, the plumbers have already installed most of their flow and returns, but now face a slightly different challenge. Creating a compact plant room in the tight eave space. I'm not sure Mike was best pleased when I showed him the space he had available, but either way, he got stuck in and I take my hat off to him. He got it sorted.
Just trying to piece together well, essentially it's like a plant room. Everything's come back to this point. We need a point of isolation for the whole system because there's so much going on. I want to be able to shut things down independently, drain things down independently. So if anything gets damaged or we need to work on anything further down the line, we can just come back to one point in the whole house and we've got full control. So at the minute I'm just doing all the flows and returns. So we've got, this goes to underfloor heating manifold, flow and return. This one is flow and return for the radiator circuit, which is just doing all the radiators throughout the house. We've got a separate radiator circuit, which is, I believe this one, which is doing on the top of the mezzanine, but it had to be run separately because we had no means of getting up. So we had a lot of tricky pipe work to run in the deck over there, up the outside and back in, but that's that. And then we've got our hot water control there. So I'm just going to be bringing we've got all of our primaries coming up there, so they're going to be looped across. We've got pump, filter, vessels all going on this wall. You'll see it all start coming together over the course of the day. But this is where I'm focusing all my energy at the moment, and yeah, it's a bit tight, but it's what it is.
Well, I've got to say, respect to these boys. In a matter of a few days with some tough circumstances, they have smashed it. What a lovely, neat and tidy job they have done.
Then it's on to the underfloor heating. More than 120 square metres of pipe is laid out in perfect runs, ensuring even heat will be spread throughout the whole of the ground floor. This is the kind of work you do not see once the floors are down. This, in my eyes, is the best form of heating you can get.
Now the lads have got all their underfloor heating loops completed, they need to go through and purge the air out of each circuit one by one.
Once the pipework is tested, we poured in liquid screed, locking everything in and creating a perfectly solid base, ready for our finished floors to come.
So this is it, we're finally here, the floor is going down. So this has been a long time coming, so let's get the show on the road and get this floor screeded. Totally different already, doesn't it? Looking good.
Just like that, 100 plus metres of screed done. Beautiful.
With heat in the floor and water in the pipes, it's time to turn our attention skyward. The roof is about to get its crown. So first, we lay the roofing membrane across the entire roof, creating a breathable waterproof barrier beneath the tiles. Battens go in next, precisely gauged to the specific tiles we are using. Then comes the hard graft. All 13,500 handmade clay tiles delivered down our tiny lane and then bumped up onto the roof and stacked neatly into place. That's an entire job in itself, and it takes a team to make it happen. And a team is what we have. And once the roof is fully stopped, we start installing the verges. These are the edges of the roof that overhang the gable ends of the barn. These are crucial for building a roof that lasts. And then, the moment we've all been working towards, laying every single tile, one by one, row by row, the stacks disappear and the roof comes to life. Five months ago, this barn was in serious trouble. Half a roof, unsafe wiring, a water main folded in the mud, and oak timbers that had been left to rot for decades. Today, it stands tall and strong. The oak frame has been repaired and renewed, the structure made sound, the roof fully rebuilt, and tiled, the plumbing and electrics hidden away to preserve its historic character. But we're far from finished. In fact, some of the most exciting work is still to come. So don't worry, there's plenty more barn content still to come. If you've enjoyed watching this oak barn come back to life, make sure you're here for the next chapter, because this is only halfway through its transformation and the best is yet to come. This is the Derelict Barn Project, and we're just getting started.